So good evening and Om Shanti and welcome to this welcome to this evening's talk on inner tranquility. It's always nice to be prompted to go inside and connect to your inner peace, especially in the world that we're going through now. And today here we have with us a special speaker, Masana De Souza, who's had an extensive background in coaching, counselling, mediation, facilitation, and training. Now, that's a wealth of experience all for you. And she's also been a student and teacher of the Brahma Kumaris Raj Yoga meditation for 18 years and a facilitator for our values in healthcare from a spiritual perspective. So you have a wealth of wisdom tonight. And over to Masana. Thank you.
Om Shanti, good evening to each and every one of you here in person and those that are on many different media platforms. And thank you so much, Canon, for that lovely warm welcome. It's always a pleasure to be here in Wembley, just round the corner from where I'm based at Global Cooperation House. And yes, we have a beautiful theme to explore together at a time in the world when chaos is at its highest. And although if I switch on the radio, the television, and I'm bombarded by mainly negative news and such tragedy, and so many of the films that are created seem to engender violence as well, violent thoughts and behavior and actions. However, when I recall that everything first starts within myself, who I truly am, each of us are eternal, spiritual being, a tiny point of light. And when I can come back to my inner truth, my inner authenticity, and tap back into my original qualities, eternal spiritual qualities of unlimited peace, which of course tranquility will be part of that, and we're going to explore that in depth this evening. Unconditional love, compassion, empathy, the ability to be able to create positive thoughts, pure thoughts, moving away from the negativity of the other thoughts based on fear. And we're going to explore also what really is fear and how do I get trapped in it and how can I re-emerge and fly beyond it and see it for what it is, most times paper tiger. They will, and I totally acknowledge there'll be times when fear is real in the moment. However, we'll explore also when is it not? When is it virtual reality? And so we're going to look at that duality because we live in an old world, as I describe, of blame, attack, judgment, and criticism. And the biggest critic can be first of self, and then I start to point the finger out to blame, be it someone in the family, a neighbor, a friend, a colleague, or what's taking place on the planet. And the beauty of understanding and using this deep spiritual knowledge and practicing Raja Yoga meditation. And if you haven't already explored that, then many centers like here at Wembley, where you can learn more about who you truly are and how to navigate this very rocky, chaotic world out there, recognizing that it first starts with the inner journey of reconnecting with who I truly am and being my best friend, my inner coach, rather than the inner critic. So let's take a moment and relax the body. Take a few deep cleansing breaths, breathing in slowly through the mouth. Gently in through the nose and gently breathe out slowly through the mouth. And we'll play a little music as well. And occasionally I will share a few words that we can move from the busyness of out there in the world. And if you came in with busy thoughts as well to join this program, that you can perhaps, when you recognize a busy thought, put it in a beautiful bubble, fill it with a color, and release it. Imagine releasing it above your head. Let it go and keep coming back to the gentle music. So as I sit quietly, take in the deep, slow breaths. Breathe through any tension in the body. Gently take your attention up to the center of the forehead. Focus between the eyes, your true identity, an invisible tiny point of light like a star, your true identity as an internal soul. And listen to this beautiful Om Shanti, beautiful music. Yourself full of light, shining light out through the eyes. I am light, I am peace. So gently in this moment scan the body. Is the body more relaxed? Does the mind and heart of either soul feel more at peace, more calm, more serene? You can gently open your eyes, become aware of sitting in the body, in the chair, of your surroundings. And those in the audience, you can put up your hand if you're feeling more peaceful, more calm. Yes, definitely see on the expressions on the face as well, there's a lightness. So this is one of the many tools that I'll be sharing this evening that can bring you out of the chaos of whatever is taking place in your life or your situation, as well as to be able to really go within and connect with your original peace and light and kindness to self. And I've put up on the screen, love is the antidote to fear, because the opposite of tranquility, that is part of the larger eternal spiritual quality of peace. There are many aspects to peace: contentment, calm, stillness, serenity. And tonight we are speaking about tranquility. So if you have a notebook and you have colored pens, then maybe draw a symbol for you that represents tranquility. As I find that being creative, using the creative powers that are within the conscious mind of I, the eternal soul, that it helps me to become more embodied within the truth of who I truly am. And love, when I speak about love, I'm speaking about pure love, unconditional love, not the Hollywood, Bollywood, Valentine's, here today, gone tomorrow. This is compassion, caring, gentleness, kindness, generosity of spirit. And the antidote to fear. And fear, if you write it down going one letter under the other, it's an acronym. F for false, E for evidence, A for appearing, and the R, anyone like to guess what the R is? The opposite of false, beginning with R? Real, real. So false evidence appearing real. I suggest that most fears that I may accumulate during the day through stress, anxiety, worry, that most of those fears, do they actually materialize by the end of the day? I can see people shaking their head. And yet, the mind of the soul that is trapped in those negative fears and worries and stress sends a message to the physical organ of the brain that sends a message to the two little adrenal organs above the kidneys, one on either side. And the adrenals will release the hormones of adrenaline and cortisol, which speeds up the body to react to a real fear, to either go into fight or flight. So if there was a real lion that jumped into this room in this moment, or in the room that you're sitting if you're watching on YouTube or any of the other social media in this moment, that it would be very helpful to have extra adrenaline and cortisol to avoid the real situation that is causing violence. However, most times it's in my imagination. And that's why I suggest fear is mainly virtual reality based on my old, long acquired false beliefs that are negative. So it's helpful for you to start writing down, and over the days and weeks, make a note of when you become aware of a negative false belief that you've been holding in the subconscious that then colors your thoughts when you are triggered back into that old false negative belief. So false negative beliefs, for example, I'm not good enough, I'm not valuable, I'm not lovable. And all of those are false. Each of us have acquired some of them from early childhood, from the caregivers or parents that they themselves acquired from their generation and keep going back through the generations. So now on your spiritual journey, you now have the opportunity to become the gentle, compassionate, detached observer of your own thoughts. And check, when am I slipping into negativity that causes tension in the body, tension in the mind, and then I'm in chaos, I'm in fear, I'm in stress, and the adrenaline is being coursing round the whole system of the body. Become aware of if you mainly, when you are stressed, go into either fight, flight, or freeze. These are learned conditions. They're learned behaviors of human beings. They are not actually ones that are going to help me to come back into tranquility. Fight starts with violent communication with myself, inner critic. Then being blaming, attacking, judging, criticizing others will create more negativity within and between myself and another energetically. And then that violence, as we witness out there in the world, can become the form of a fist, a knife, a gun, a bomb. Everything is connected, yes? It starts first with that negative fear thought. And then I might instead go into flight, which is avoidance. I'm in denial, and I repress and suppress false negative beliefs, yet they are still inside me. And the adrenaline and cortisol, those hormones, are causing damage to the inner body. So we all have a vulnerable part of our body where the adrenaline and the cortisol will lodge every time I go into the false evidence, appearing real, virtual reality. And the third one is the freeze, when I go into shock. Shock for a moment is a natural part of the human body. Remember, the body is the costume, the temporary costume for I, the soul. The soul is where your personality, your conscious mind, where you can create very powerful, uplifting thoughts and feelings and intentions. Really underline the word intention. Because when you sow powerful seeds of positivity early in the morning in your meditation, and then nurture and sustain that seed during the day with traffic control, 1 minute each hour, check and change. If I'm remaining in the powerful intention of early morning being more tranquil during the day, or more calm, or more compassionate, or kinder, then during the day I check, am I still in that powerful intention? Is that the vision that I am looking at myself and others as I move around in the day? So that's another tool, yes? Using traffic control, becoming that detached observer. very compassionate. The one we are focusing on is another F, and it's the flow. Every time I'm in the flow, think of an image. For me, it's a river. So for a moment, maybe close your eyes and imagine. First of all, take a few deep cleansing breaths, breathing in through the mouth, out. Slowly let the breath out and relax the body. Imagine you're on the top of a mountain. The sun is shining. There's a gentle breeze caressing your face. You feel so relaxed and still and calm. And beside you, you hear some water bubbling up like a little spring from deep within the heart of the mountain. And as it pours up over the top of the mountain, the water finds a way, spiraling down around the mountain as it descends, creating a pathway. And as the water moves from the size of a stream and down to the base of the mountain and travels through the valley, the banks of the river become wider and the water adjusts and adapts to the contours of the earth until it reaches the ocean and merges in the ocean. So that's a beautiful imagery that you can think of when going with the flow. Trust the process, go with the flow, rather than getting caught in the fight, flight, or freeze. And in that way, the endorphins, the happy chemicals, will be released in the physical body to bring you some inner sense of, that inner comfort. And that's the soul learning to be the master of the mind and master of this body. So just think of the soul is like the driver and the body is like the car. If I drive a car or ride a bicycle, I need to be the master of the car and be aware of obstacles that come along, be them human beings or other cars or bicycles. So equally in my life, I can choose to be the master of my thoughts, that I choose to create more positive, uplifting thoughts that will bring me back into inner harmony, inner unity, inner peace. Authentic communication is a very powerful language. Each of you will use it at times, and afterwards you can maybe add to this list. And think for yourself, what does it mean when you are authentic in communicating with yourself, communicating with the divine, with Supreme Soul, or your higher self, whatever for you is pure and unconditional love and peace? And some of that I've put up there, speak from your heart. And I'm referring from the heart within the conscious mind of who you truly are. Be true to yourself. So be more alert and aware where you are repeating the words of either a caregiver from when you were a child, or your culture, your race, your gender, the class that you are ascribed to. Check it out. is this really true for me any longer? Or is there a deeper truth that is resonating with me? So again, remember, am I trapped in the fear? What will other people think or say? Or am I choosing to be authentic with who I truly am? Speak when moved to speak. So often I hear conversations that start at a superficial level. Be aware if that's how you start your conversations and stay in them. Or are you having the courage to speak your truth and be prepared to listen to others and speak from a very deep, authentic level, so that the exchange of energy between self and another resonates at a higher vibration, where it's an exchange of gifts from your mind and heart to another, and receiving a gift of something that they are sharing that is true for them in a gentle way. Experiment with it. Respect yourself, and then I can respect others. Can I go beyond their external body? Can I go beyond their race, their gender, the pigmentation of their skin, the age, all of those isms that can separate me from humanity, from the truth of who we are truly as spiritual, eternal beings. Nurture and sustain who you truly are. Reflect, what does that mean to nurture and sustain who I truly am? Listen to each other with an open heart and an open mind, free from judgment of myself, trapped in those old false negative beliefs that I'm not worthy, I'm not valuable. Release those. Remove the negative words. Stay in the present moment. I am worthy. I am love. I am valuable. Those are the affirmations to keep bringing into your conscious as awareness to override the false negative beliefs. Be honest with yourself and be compassionate with yourself. All of these will bring me more into inner peace, inner tranquility, inner harmony. And those vibrations, elevated ones, will vibrate out into your relationships, communication with family, friends, colleagues, any human being that you meet along in the street, in your daily life, or when you're meditating and choosing to send powerful thoughts of peace to every human being on the planet at this time. So another one is, and this was a title of a book many years ago, and I find it's really helpful. You don't actually need to read the book, although of course you can. It's Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So recognize when I'm trapped in that negative false belief. Recognize when the body is starting to feel tense and the mind is gone, very busy, chaotic. Recognize it as that gentle, compassionate, detached observer, and check and change. So some of the tools to use there with Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. Think of a time when you have felt, I can't do that, or I couldn't speak in front of other people, or I'll never pass that exam, so it doesn't make sense that I do that particular course. Be aware that it is probably one of those false negative beliefs that I have acquired from early childhood. where maybe a caregiver or a teacher told me that I'm stupid, or that I'll never do well, or I'll never learn. So it's important to realize I no longer need to believe those false beliefs. So listening to your inner truth, who you truly are as an authentic spiritual being, being kind to yourself. Love your inner child. You may have heard this phrase before. Each of us has that little voice inside, and that it's referred to psychologically as the inner child. Think of it as it's the part of self that feels vulnerable, can feel the fear, can feel the pain, can feel the sorrow that is trapped in those early childhood negative experiences. And now, recognizing when you start to go into I can't or I'll never do that, remember, it's not true. That was acquired learning. Now you are choosing. Masana, you're working too hard. Or I'm bored. We need to do something different. So listen. Maybe it's time to go and come off the computer. Maybe it's time to stretch the body every hour, definitely, if you're on the computer a lot. Maybe it's time to go outside and stretch. Or if you can make time during lunch break or your day off, make sure you have a nature walk, ideally every day. And use that time to appreciate and have gratitude. It might be even looking out of the window if you only have a few minutes and the rain is falling. Be aware of, do you tell yourself, oh, it's raining again? Now I won't be able to go for my run or whatever. Or do I give gratitude that the rain, the earth needs the rain? Not too much, of course. However, it needs enough. Can I see the light from the lamp out in the garden or on the street, reflecting on the raindrops? Can I see the beauty in each raindrop as it drops on a leaf? Have you ever walked early in the morning when the sun is coming up and you see the dewdrops on a spider web, and the sun catches the dewdrop and it looks like a diamond? So create ways in your life where you can stop and look like a little child. A child has natural curiosity. They have a sense of wonder. Can I bring that out in myself and stop always thinking of being busy, doing? So experiment with it every day and bring the wonder into your life again. Bring the appreciation and the gratitude for little tiny things, be them nature or that you can stretch today or whatever it is. Give thanks. So love your authentic self, not the inauthentic. Be kind to the inauthentic. However, check and change. Be true to who you are. Have the courage to speak your truth. Know when it's time to speak your truth. The other person needs to be in a relaxed way of being. It's the tone of voice, the facial expression, the body language. I need to be congruent with my truth before I am ready to share it in an elevated way without using ego of superiority or inferiority to trap me back into fear. So be the gentle, compassionate observer of self. Here's another one I'd like to share with you. Oh, sorry. So I'd like to share some more thoughts with you, and I think we've got another song to play now. So this song, use it as a meditation. So again, relax the body, maybe uncross your legs, relax the hands in your lap, free your hands of anything. And you can either look in the center of this beautiful lotus flower, soften the eyes, and take a deep cleansing breath through the nose. And listen to the words.
Come into the light, why don't you? Come into the light, why don't you? Come on now, come into the light. Where do I go with all these memories and all these bags filled up with shame? And how should I feel when you call me an angel, dress me in a crown of gold? And what should I do when tears of sorrow just won't stay inside these eyes? You say, come into the light, why don't you? Come into the light, why don't you? Come on now, come into the light. What should I do when a gentle-headed reaches out to take my own? And how should I feel when tears of joy, they just won't stay inside these eyes? And what will I do when I start to love you and really trust and know you're there? You say you'll be in the light where I am. You'll be in the light where I am. Come on now, come into the light. You'll be in the light where I am. You'll be in the light where I am. Come on now, come into the light.
So for a moment, check how you're feeling. Scan the body, scan the mind of either soul. Is there more gentleness, calm, peace? Knowing you're a light, you can connect with the unlimited light beyond in the soul world. So again, at times, these uplifting songs. This one is by Lucinda Drayton, who is one of our very experienced karma yogis as well, uses through meditation and writes these beautiful songs and creates music. So it's a musical meditation that you can experiment with. Play it in the car, have it when you're doing, you're needing to concentrate and you need something in the background to keep you focused, alert. Pictures can also be really helpful. So look again at what do you have in your room where you meditate. Do you have an uplifting picture that can bring you back into that inner peace? The lotus flower, for instance, is used as a symbol of purity. Its waxy, beautiful petals on a stem that is above the muddy water, and the muddy water symbolically refers to the negative vices like anger, greed, attachment to those false beliefs, or attached to somebody else's opinion, or I'm trying to influence somebody else negatively, as well as it can be for the ego, either superiority or inferiority. All of those are false. Also become aware of where I'm attached to lust or impure desires. Only I can decide which desires actually cause me imbalance, fear, stress, worry, the opposite of tranquility. Sitting in the eye of the storm. Has anybody here ever been in a hurricane? I've been in many since a baby and as a child. So I've had many experiences and as an adult. And my understanding of a hurricane is that there is the eye of the storm. So the hurricane, the velocity of the wind moves in one direction and of course sweeps everything in its path, be it the roofs of houses, furniture left out, as well as can take trees. And then there is a quiet moment, and that is the quiet before the hurricane is going to turn back on its track and come back at an increased velocity to take whatever else it didn't take in the first onslaught. And so when you look at this picture, I'd like you to create your own image. It might be this or another symbol of when the mind is going busy like a hamster on a wheel, and I've got trapped in my negative false beliefs of self, or I've been triggered by what somebody else said to me that hurt me or made me feel embarrassed at work, or whatever it was that caused me some sadness, sorrow. That can I go deep within? Because deep within each of us is unlimited, eternal peace, unconditional love, purity of thoughts, intentions, purity of feelings, happiness and joy, wisdom. The wisdom is within, behind the wall of fear, the false evidence appearing real. So when I can go into that quiet space within, which is what meditation, building it up every day, early morning and in the evening before I go to bed. And if you don't have a practice yet, because it needs to become a daily habit so that I can build up within, that I can easily access in that stormy time of stormy inner chaos or external chaos, that I'm in a situation or in front of a personality that I am triggered negatively by. And so as I build up the spiritual resources, I can go into that quiet space sitting in the eye of the storm. So again, experiment with that. And if you're not in a regular meditation practice, may I suggest that you go to bed an hour early. Start maybe with half an hour, build it up to an hour earlier. Make sure you've switched off the television, social media, long telephone calls, at least an hour before you go to bed. Play a beautiful uplifting song. Listen to a guided meditation. Then you will have a peaceful sleep. Set your alarm clock for half an hour or an hour earlier before your usual routine in the morning, be it your commitment to your family's needs or preparing for your day. And create that sacred time for you and the divine. Meditate, write in your journal, draw pictures, do some stretch exercises. You are worth it. If you can create an hour in the morning, an hour in the evening for your spiritual as well as physical, mental, emotional well-being, 2 hours out of 24 hours every day, imagine the difference in how you will be able to face your challenges. All of you clearly are already on your spiritual journey. What I'm suggesting is increase it. The benefits are unlimited. I'm going to finish in a few minutes so we can have questions. So when you're sitting in the eye of the storm, so again, another tool, always ask yourself, so that's when you're in that either inner nightmare inside or where you are troubled from something that happened during the day that is still disturbing you. Always ask yourself, will this empower or disempower me? Is it always true? So whatever that person said to me, Masana, you are always lazy, or you're always late, or you're always selfish. Can I ask myself, is it always true or just sometimes? Remind yourself, take a few deep cleansing breaths so you're releasing the body, refocusing the mind of either soul. Go deeper within into the stillness and silence, and be open to inner guidance. In my experience, the wisdom comes to me only when I'm still and quiet and tranquil inside. If the mind is all caught up in, he said that, she said that, why didn't they do this? They should have done it this way. I'm lost again. So again, when I can dive deep into my truth, I can then create some space, some stillness. And within that, the wisdom will come. So I'd like to stop for a few moments. And are there any questions, any observations, any aha moments? I don't know if anything comes through from out on the other platforms. However, right here with the audience, we have a mic, a roving mic, yes? So if you'd like to put up your hand, if there's anything that you've appreciated in what you've heard, or it's an aha moment, or you have a question, feel free to ask it. I'm sure I can't have answered everything. There must be some things that are alive in you now. There's no need to be shy, because probably whatever you ask, there'll be someone else saying, oh, I'm so glad somebody asked that. It's okay? Yeah? Everyone satisfied with how to become tranquil? There's no yes but? No? Okay. So trust the process. Whatever's happening in this moment is the only thing that can happen in this moment. It's about the art of living in the now. Past is past. Put a full stop. Can I change the past? No matter how much I may like to want to change the past. Just like, can I change anybody else? Just as I may really would like to change somebody. You know, often it's someone that's in your family or a neighbor or a colleague that you really wish they would change. The reality is the only one I can change is self. And as I become more authentic, more real, more true, more honest with myself, then I start to look out with that gentleness, compassion, understanding of others. And because my attitude and behavior is changing, the vibration is changing within me because I am regularly charging up with Supreme Soul, with God, with the divine, whatever for you is the highest, purest, unlimited wisdom and peace. So as I continually charge up like I need to charge up the laptop or the phone, the soul needs to charge up as well regularly. So then I can accept that whatever is happening in this moment is the only thing that can happen in this moment. However, I always have a choice in which thoughts I choose to create within my mind. So like the car driving along and the red stoplight comes, I put my foot on the brake and I stop. Let's check the thoughts. Or when a dog runs across the road, when I'm driving, again, I need to slow down and swerve the car so I avoid the dog. So can I do that in my life as well? So keep using different examples, different metaphors, different analogies, different pictures to help you stay focused, alert, aware, and attentive as you take your next steps to create more present moments. Past is past, even 5 minutes ago, it's gone. And as I stay more and more in this tranquil awareness and face with courage when the fears come up, then I will be able to create a more powerful, positive, uplifting future. Go with the flow, surrender and let go. So surrender of what I realize has trapped me back in the fear, back into sabotage, procrastination, laziness, carelessness. So one tip, looks like a hand is up, yes.
Thank you very much for all the tips. And you did mention speak when you are prompted or you feel it's the right time to speak. And that is easy when you're with like-minded people. But there are situations where maybe, I don't know if you're aware, but these days it's, someone's looking for someone to talk to. And you give the space, but it's just full on, just constant, it's relevant, and you can't be aware that, someone just want to speak, and but if it's one day, it can bear it. But if it's all the time, how can you move away without being disrespectful?
Yes, I have that experience too. I think all of us do, with someone that just has no control over their thoughts and over the words. And some people that they're so mentally disturbed that I observe as soon as they finished one sentence and maybe I'm ready after the sixth sentence. It happened to me recently at work, and certainly in my family there's a member of family who is disturbed at times mentally. And every time I sought to smile and move on, then 300 more sentences came with 300 different versions of different stories. And that is somebody that clearly has deep unmet needs, and without going into analyzing it in this moment. And so when I knew that I needed to put my boundaries, so boundaries are essential, when I realized I was in my self-respect, I was respecting the other, and at the same time, I knew I needed to draw a close to that constant flow of words where there was no opportunity to have a conversation. And I said something like, first I need to make sure I'm peaceful and not irritated or frustrated or that's enough. And so I said, I really appreciate what you've shared. However, I need to get back to work now, because I was working in another office. So that's one way. So it's very much making sure I am tranquil, peaceful, calm, and that I am showing respect through the tone of voice, the body language, and yet I'm very clear on my boundaries. And I say something that is appropriate to what is happening, and start moving away as well. Because if somebody is still, as I'm walking out the door, talking, then at least I've left a fragrance of respect for that soul. Hopefully that helps. Thank you. Anybody else? So you've probably, hopefully, had a chance to see some of the tips to embrace with change. Accept change as an inevitable part of life. So change will always happen. Our body is constantly changing. There is no moment that is the same whilst we're in this body. So learn to adapt, adjust, be flexible. All of these are spiritual, eternal powers. Be open to the newness and wisdom about to be revealed. That goes back to that child within, the curiosity, the sense of wonder. Because I'm staying peaceful, I'm open to new possibilities, new opportunities. Nurture the self. Be creative. The drawing, the painting, creating collages, gardening, whatever it is, be creative in your thoughts, your attitude, your relationships, your communication. Think of the word communication. Within it is communion, sacred exchange of pure energy, union. What does it mean for you to be in connection with the divine? So many ways you can be creative. Journal, record gratitude daily, meditate daily. So I'm going to close now. Should I give a meditation now? So hopefully that has all been helpful, and thank you all for your attention and the question. And again, gently prepare yourself. And again, as I sit quietly in the chair, I imagine I am breathing from the feet up through the legs, the abdomen, up through the heart to the top of the head. Allow the breath to cascade down the back, creating a circular breath of in and out, slowing the breath down, relaxing the body. I gently tune in to the center of the forehead, tiny point of light, like a tiny star, shines out through the two physical eyes. I am eternal peace, unconditional love, happiness, joy, and bliss. I can create powerful, pure thoughts, feelings, and intentions. And gently, gently take the attention higher and higher. Experience a bright light, so pure, so bright, with waves of compassion, gentleness, and peace flowing towards you, through you and around you, bathing you in a beautiful, pure vibration. Release any negativity, any false beliefs, any fears into this pure light. Experience yourself becoming lighter and lighter in the flow. Knowing that you can come and connect beyond this body, beyond this world, whenever you choose in the soul world, to connect with Supreme Soul, to heal, re-energize, to connect with your inner wisdom. And now, gently, gently bring yourself back to the awareness of sitting in the center of the forehead, gently opening the eyes, I, the soul, looking out through the two physical eyes, the windows to the soul. Om Shanti. I'm a peaceful soul.
So, Shanti, and thank you so much, Sister Masana. It was an experience of being in inner tranquility the whole time. You were so tranquil that you hardly had much questions and time for us to revise it and process it. So you'd see this session online on YouTube, and whoever's online can also revisit and go back to your pointers. So it's quite insightful, especially for me. The main tip that I drew from being in my inner tranquility is just keep focusing on my meditations. Just keep at it and make sure that I polish up applying the practice in a very accurate way. And so for you to practice your meditation Mondays and Thursdays in the evening, we have 7 to 7:30 in-house and also online meditation connected. So you may join us, but also on Sundays, 10 to 10:45. If you were to just go onto the website, www.innerspacefamily.org, then you can just connect and join online. And staying on to the website, we have the Saturday in-house workshop on anger management between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. So you're most welcome to come. And for our next public talk next week on Tuesday, we have Matthew Earl, and he's also based in London, but his profession is very interesting. He's the head of business growth for an IT consultancy. So those who wish to be in corporate world and would like to connect to someone who's also spiritually minded and has an angle of self-development, you're most welcome to come next week and bring more. Bring your friends, family. Thank you very much for coming this evening. Safe journey home. Om Shanti.
There's a question from the YouTube chats that there's so much negative news in the world. Should we look at it at all, or how much should we consume, or should we avoid it altogether? So that's the question.
The question was
There's so much negative news in the world.
Yes.
So should we, kind of look at it at all, or should we completely ignore it, avoid it?
So that's a powerful question. And for me, less is more. And so I have a choice in each moment where I choose to put my attention. Do I want to get trapped back in the living hell that is of the old world, of blame and attack, and get immersed in that? Will that bring me down and to be pain and sorrow and activate the false fear? I can know that this is happening. However, the more I am bringing myself back into inner balance and inner peace, then I become a gift to the world rather than engaging in the dark shadow of the night, which is going to change back into the light. So I'm either in the light or the darkness in each moment. Thank you.
So thank you. And just a reminder, the product for the week is It's Time to Do the Inner Work. So should you be online, you may buy online, but the shop is open now and you may visit. Thank you. Om Shanti.